it's too late for me to start?
It's too late for what? So it depends what your goals are. So life doesn't end when you turn 60. You're probably gonna live 30 more years. What are you talking about? And 30 years is enough to invest to grow a nice, healthy portfolio. You can invest with your phone. Like everything's now at the tips of our hands. And the costs have gone down. There's lots of competition now in this space and innovation as well. We're getting brands that are becoming cheaper and cheaper for people to invest. If you feel scared, you're not alone. And a lot of investors feel like that as well. What helps?
Welcome to another edition of Mindset Profits. We are back to talking investments. So today I'm going to be doing it with Nozi. I want to bust all your investment myths in 30 minutes. Not sure if it's going to be 30 minutes. So I guess you'll have to check how long this video is. But yeah, Nozi, welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
And we want to be efficient. So I'm going to start, I think, quickly. How did you get started with investing and talking investments and growing your YouTube channel and teaching us about money and all this stuff? What's the story there? Because you've got your 9 to 5.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
So it was quite by accident. Jenny, is I sucked at money. I was really well. Life is full of surprise. So I in 2017. This is the earliest memory I have. With my journey, how it started. I was sitting at home. This is on Christmas Day.
Mhm.
I remember that day it was raining outside, and I had no money left. So what would happen was, so what happened was, our company, where I work, used to pay us bonuses, annual bonuses. But a bonus is not a guarantee. So this particular year, I don't think the company did well financially, but they didn't tell us. Look, I was my way, I thought, yeah, when the bonus is coming. So what did I do? I spent the December pay, and then I'm like, no, the bonus will carry me, because that's how things was great is. And then when I sat on that Christmas day watching the rain, and that's all the entertainment that I had for the day, and I knew people were out with their families having a good time, I was like, something has to change. You know what I mean? I wasn't earning a bad salary. I think I was doing okay. I was just not efficient at managing money. And I think it's just how it is with a lot of people. We think that money is a natural thing that you will pick up as you grow older. Like as a teenager, yeah, you think the skill will just fall into your lap. Unfortunately, I had a rude awakening, and then I realized then that I need to learn about money. I need to. So literally, through a series of fortunate events afterwards, I just started consuming a lot of personal finance content. I think my colleagues introduced me to easy equities, and I started on that journey from curiosity, wanting to get better, wanting not to experience what I experienced on that December day.
That's why I guess we can be grateful you had that December.
Yes, yes, yes.
So, Nazi, you because of the experience getting started, what you learned, what you teach, because you teach quite a lot free of YouTube. I want to ask you, I want us to go through a list of reasons why people are scared of investing, and why some people, even if they do start, leave early. And I'm sure you've experienced this.
Yeah.
Nah. If we go to the one that always comes top of mind whenever I mention the word investing is I don't have enough money. This is for the rich.
Mm-hmm.
It needs a lot of money to get started.
Mm.
Yeah.
There's a lot of reasons. But I think one of the leading reasons is lack of knowledge. So this information is it's not hidden, but I'd say it's hidden in plain sight. You don't know what you don't know, right? So the information is there. I mean, when I was on my journey and I was looking for information, I was surprised how easy and much available it is. I mean, if you're not looking, you won't know, right? Then I was like, this thing has been sitting, it's been available. So it's literally lack of awareness, education, and then other things come to play as well. A lot of us know saving. So I think that's what our parents taught us. He taught us to save for a rainy day. Everybody talks about saving. Nobody can tell me they don't know what saving is. That's like overdone. Like everybody saves. When it comes to investing, another issue like think is that there's so many scams in this country. I don't know, scammers love South Africa. I mean, even international scammers love this country. It's like a breeding ground for scams. So I think a lot of people have been burned by the likes of Triple M and all this other. No, no, for real, you know, because because they present themselves as investments to people, and some people are not, they're none the wiser. So sometimes a person genuinely believes that that's an investment. So once burned, you know, if a person is burned by a pyramid scheme, they just hustles. The fear stays with them. They're not interested in the world. So they will hear the word investment, it brings those girls. And then the other thing which you mentioned again is people think investing is inaccessible, but they've got a reason to think so. In the past, it wasn't like that. So only a select few could invest. Yes, about precursors. Yeah, in the past, it was hard to invest, especially before the digital age. You had to invest with a physical person, a broker. Yeah. It was hard. It was not easy. You couldn't invest you 50 rand. You couldn't just, yeah, the barrier was accessibility and also the amount you needed to spend with.
And now,
Now everything's changed. Now everything's digital. You can invest with your phone. Like everything's now at the tips of our hands. And the costs have gone down. There's lots of competition now in the space and innovation as well. We're getting brands that are becoming cheaper and cheaper for people to invest. And now we get students investing. So that has completely. So the digital age has brought a lot of positives for
and when you talk about the tools, are they the ones that you're talking about on your channel? I know Frank and Busy Equities. Is there any other?
So there are lots of tools. So look, I obviously speak about those because I have interacted with the apps and whatever. But that's not to say that's what I endorse. I always say to people, just invest. If you find what it should be, legitimate. There are ways to suss out the different platforms, but as long as they're registered and approved by the FSCA, which is the Financial Sector Connect Authority, if that's fine, you can invest with any institution. So for me, the point is investing. I'm not so much about the platform and blah, 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 blah. That is a later consideration. If someone's investing, I'm happy. We can talk about the platform later, but then skint invested. So yes, there's a couple, there's so many. There's EasyIctis, Satrix, Frame, this is top of mind. Clarity by Investec, and the banks have got their own platforms as well. So FNB I know has, Standard Bank has, ABSA has. So like literally
And this is just top of mind. So they're just top. Literally, there's more.
no dozens.
Let's talk about one of the ones we raised. Investment fear, because a lot of people associate investment with gambling.
Gambling scams, yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How do I get past that fear? Or how do I suss out the difference between a scam and something that's safe? You've mentioned that something that's safe, organizations that are registered.
Yes, they have to be. So any company that claims to be an investment company, they must have an FSP number, which is a financial service provider number that is provided to them by the MCR. I think it's called the National Credit Regulator. They have to have that. That's the one thing. The second thing is they must be registered with the FSCA, the Financial Sector Conduct Authority. So literally, if you go on your browser and type FSCA, and it will pop up, you click the link, then there's a button that says search for service provider. That's how you search. Then you type in the name of whatever company it is that's claiming to be an investment company. If it says registered in
Yeah, it's good. You're good.
then you're good. Yeah. And then the other way to suss out if something is a scam, besides it not being registered, that's the fun. You see if it doesn't even pass the registration by in the document FSP number, they're not on the FSCA website, don't touch it. That's your first baseline. Second level is what are they promising you? Investments by their nature, yes. So investments by their nature are high, especially investments like stocks, shares, and things like that. Those things are quite unpredictable, especially in shorter periods of time. So if someone is saying to me, invest 2,000 this week and next week you're getting 20,000, your alarm bells must be ringing immediately. There's no investment that can guarantee that. Investment by their nature are uncertain. There's a level of risk. There's a level of no, because I want to say there's a level of waiting. So it's a waiting game. This is not like a casino where you put in money and then whoop, big money comes out. No. It's more of a game. It's a game of patience. So one of the guys who authored one of these books that I'm gonna spill one there. One of the guys, his name is Warren Ingram. He says investing should, if you're investing properly, it should feel like watching paint dry. It's bickering. So if you're feeling excitement like you're in Las Vegas, then that's another sign to say maybe not. So investing in its truest nature or in its purest form is boring. It's boring. There's nothing. It takes time. It's slow, and that's how. If there's excitement, people are getting money after 2 weeks and posting on Facebook and the screenshots of them standing next to you. No.
I guess that's the reason why, even in the intro, I said a lot of people who get in see that it's boring and they leave, or there's the ups and downs in the markets. And when there's a sit down, the alarm bells just go off and they take their money out, or they take their money out when they've lost. Which means they realize that loss instead of just waiting.
Instead of waiting. So what you're saying, that's typical investor behavior. So literally what I would say to people, if you feel scared, you're not alone. A lot of investors feel like that as well. What helps with me, it may sound cliche, I just have to say it. Education helps, reading helps, like learning how investment works and also learning about the psychology of investing as well. How do investors behave when there's a market crash? The default behavior, and this is not unique to any investor, they will sell. That's how investors build generally, right? So if you become aware of those things, they're like, when you see it happen, you're like, oh, I can choose to be different because this is what's supposed to happen. This is how investors behave, but I will choose to behave differently. So crashes shouldn't move you, they're normal. Also learning about the history of the market as well. If you read about it, you know that the crashes we experience today are not as severe as, for example, the biggest crash at almost 100 years ago in 1929 it was uh, during the Great Depression, where the market fell more than 50% or something ridiculous. Like we've never experienced that yet. So reading helps and seeing how the market recovered from those type of things and how the market survived World War One, how it survived World War Two, it survived all the pandemics you can think of, the Spanish flu, the whatever flu, and it's still there today. And also another thing is you should stop if I'm rambling on to no, go. Like nothing like this. Allow me this. Another thing is, and I'm predominantly speaking about the stock market, which is assume that's a discussion about. The stock market is driven by businesses. If you keep that in mind, what keeps the stock market going? Where do the profits come from? They come from businesses that everyday people like you and me use. So the stock market will never fail unless business fails. So if it's still business as usual, or if a catastrophe happens and business builds back and bounces back, and new innovators come into the scene, new innovators, businesses that are taking us to the future, and if human beings are still innovating, we're still creating, we have nothing to worry about because that's what does the market. It's human innovation. Humans are amazing. We have seriously, humans are always looking for the most efficient way to do things. So you don't have any inventory point. As long as humanity still wants to develop and go further, the market will be fine because that's what drives the market.
Beautiful. I like your breakdown there. And if I talk to another fear in line with that, timing the market. A lot of people say, what if I'm getting in at the wrong time? What if it's the wrong time? What if it's the wrong time? Then they never get in.
And then never get in. Right. That again, what helps me is there's a saying that says zoom out. So literally, if you can take, one of the most popular what I like to do when I'm teaching about the stock market, I take one of the most popular indexes in the world, which is the S&P 500. So the S&P 500 is a group of companies, is the largest 500 stocks in the USA.
Mm-mm.
And I show that group of companies' performance over time, maybe like over 30 years or 50 years or even 100 years. Do that, you can stretch that. And then you'll see that the graph is rocky. So the graph of the performance of the share price was up and down. But if you were to draw a line, the line is going up. So from the start to the finish, the line is going up. So what that tells me is that you will experience ups and downs. So there's this debate: you don't invest now, wait for the look. Over the grander scheme of things, after time, it won't matter when you enter the market. If you invest long enough, literally. When you're arguing about a tiny ounce up there, down here, the market is going there. It will not matter where you entered at this point.
So this is good for the faint-hearted. Those that see a bounce once and get scared and say, I'm taking my money.
Fear is okay, but more importantly, it's awareness. It's an awareness, like what I'm saying, be aware that what's happening is just a blip. It's just a little blip in the grander scheme of things. So have a bigger picture, my mindset, I'd say.
All right. So another fear looking at the S&P 500 because it's fairly diversified.
Yeah.
There are people that say diversification will make my money grow too slow. I could invest my money in one company that is a high flyer. It will grow my money 10 times.
You're good at this. The questions you're asking are perfect. I have experimented with myself, so I've tried it myself. I have invested in index funds like your S&P 500s and other indexes. And then I said, also, I'm going to buy individual shares, right? Since you're so clever, do both and see. And the bet was against myself to say, I want to see if these companies will do better than my S&P 500. You can already guess what, where this is going, man. So when I looked at my performance, I wouldn't have done better. So what happened is, because I didn't buy only one company, and it's also quite dangerous to do that. If you put all your money in one stock, one share of Amazon or whatever, that means you are taking on the risk. And if anything happens to Amazon, you're cooked, right? Companies are not infallible. They come and go. CEOs come and go. And they will not, the high flyers of today were not the high flyers of yesterday. If you were to go and check history and see which were the best companies in 1990, yeah, different from what are the best companies today. Life is a wheel. The companies come and go. So I literally, the companies I bought versus my index, this is what happened. I bought several companies. I think this is a good one. I think this one would be like a Ronald, a good. Guess what happened? I chose it, and it wasn't random, baby. I did my research. No, yeah, and then the companies that I chose canceled each other out. As in their performance was mixed, so there were good ones and bad ones. The effect was they canceled each other out, and the indexes stayed winning. I learned my lesson. We are not good. We are deceived to thinking we can pick stocks well. We just generate about. I'm not saying there aren't people who are. There are people like Peter Lynch. He's very good. He's retired now. He was good at picking stocks. Warren Buffett. But Warren Buffett is like your Michael Jordan of investing. So we're not comparing yourself. Name my work. Yeah, saying if you train enough, you can be like Michael Jordan. This was said by someone else, but I think it was Morgan Housel. He said the statement like, there are certain things, sometimes it's talent, sometimes it's genius, intuition, and sometimes people are born with a gift. So where now you cannot compare yourself to Peter Lynch. That guy was it was, right? He had a stroke of genius. Same with Warren Buffett. He's very good at picking stocks. But you, from Joburg, you are not Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is a once-off phenomenon. That's why Warren Buffett is famous. He managed something that's not easy for anybody to do. That's why he's here. Otherwise, you won't be Warren Buffett. and
in investing.
yeah. So I think investing needs a little bit of humility. I learned the hard way. I thought, no, I got this thing. I did my research. I like books. I can do that.
At least we're learning from your mistake.
You know,
You don't have to repeat.
and I was forced to eat humble pack. So now I'm like, okay, I am, but I want to call enough and stop it. This doesn't mean everybody's like that, but generally,
Where you are, so you would rather put money in portfolios that are combined.
in inexpensive industries, in inexpensive, yeah. It's especially if you you are a beginner, number one, or even if you're experienced but you don't have interest in knowing about business. Because literally picking stocks, you have to understand how business works. It's not any mini anymore, unfortunately.
Great. But let's review the last three. One, it's too late for me to start.
It's
Quite late. I'm in my 40s, like 50s, in my 60s, and I'm begging.
too late for what? So it depends what your goals are. So life doesn't end when you turn 60. This is a common question that I get a lot from, older investors. Is it too late for me? I mean, I'm 50 now. And I'm like, you're probably gonna live 30 more years. What are you talking about? And 30 years is enough to invest to grow a nice, healthy portfolio. It's never tell you, oh, the 60-year-old can I mean,
You don't know how long you
you don't know how long you've worked left. Do you know what I mean? So rather invest and be over prepared than underprepared. That's part of the business. There's nothing like too late.
What about it's too early? I'm too young. I've still got a lot of life to live. I'll see this thing in 10 years' time. And there are a lot of people that are the young ones.
Warren Buffett, I think he started investing when he was 11. And one of the questions he gets asked, what do you wish you could have done sooner? He says, I wish I could have started investing younger. And he started when he was 9 or 11 years old. So actually, being young is a gift when it comes to investing because of time. Investments need time. And when I'm talking about time, there's too many noodle generation. Time means years, decades, several decades. So if you've got several decades ahead of you, the market can make you super rich. That's the quickest way to get rich is to invest long. So, that's all I can say. Yeah,
I guess the way to get rich is to do this long.
that's you can coin that right now.
Last one.
Yeah.
There's too many hidden fees and I don't understand, and the money is going to be hard to be accessible and I need it. I would rather keep my cash. Close to.
That's a very broad thing, but yes, there is something called investment fees. So investing is not free. Unfortunately, we don't live in a utopia. People hate to be good. However, some people can, or rather, some institutions can really, really, suck the blind out of investors. So yes, there are exorbitant investment fees, particularly in the active space. So by active, I mean the investments that I buy, the S&P 500, those are passive, so they're not managed. There's not a manager sitting there deciding which stocks go into the fund. It just comes pre-packaged that you just buy the package as is, and that causes the cost to be very minimal. So you're just gonna pay the platform fee, whatever platform you're using, and maybe a smaller fee for the actual fund. Very small. But when you come into the active space, this is more your unit trusts, investments that are being managed by someone else on your behalf. So they have to do the legwork to find the stocks to combine in a portfolio for you and things like that. So that costs money. So you should be careful. If you're going to go the active route, you need to shop around. Just like when you're buying, guys, we shop around when we're buying clothes. You don't go into a store, pick the next, the first jacket that you see. No, we compare, it's the same art. It's the same thing. When you're doing investments, don't go for the first company. Oh no, I know this one. I saw the advert. No, that's not how you pick an institution. Meet the fine print, which yeah, our institutions also. The fine print, yeah, a lot of people it goes over. I don't know if above the fine.
Sometimes it's too thick.
Too small.
Small.
Fine print is
Oh yeah,
can't read.
the size of the font.
The size of font is small and it's hiding important information, right? So for things for you to look out for. But yes, absolutely fees matter. So there's a philosophy, I read it somewhere, I forgot who said it, but he says in investing, you get what you don't pay for. So meaning for you to get the best returns, pay as little fees as possible. If you can avoid fees, please do it. If you can pay a very little fee, please do it. You don't have to pay for exorbitant investment because it's not in your best interest to achieve.
Beautiful. Do you have resources that you recommend? Because you kept it up. Someone who's beginning, yes. Because when you started, you speak like someone who was actively educating herself. What are some of your recommended go-to resources?
So in today's world, you can choose depending on what type of person you are. Work with yourself. If you're I'm a reader, I love reading, so reading would be a good place to start. Books, blogs, there's lots of resources. So start with a simple book. I would recommend Warren Ingram again. Um, his book titled "How to Become Your Own Financial Advisor." That's brilliant.
Is it?
Yo, he wrote that book, and I was like, why would a financial advisor write this book? But anyway, there's that. There's also podcasts. If you're not a reader, some people say, I like reading, it's fine, no shame. You can listen investment podcast. Investment podcast. There's plenty. Just type investing. Pop up. Right? Do that. If you're not a podcaster, then do videos. There's videos on YouTube, but you must be careful there as well. Anybody can post anything. That's a puppy. Even even scammers can, So you must sift information. It's better to have a watch as many videos as you can. At least you can
Use that to see.
I'd love to see the patterns and saying, no, I think this is good information and this and that. Something scare me. So be careful, sift, but educate yourself. Educate yourself. Give yourself 15 minutes a day to learn something about money that you don't know.
10 minutes a day to learn something about money that you don't know. Muslim, thank you.
It's been a pleasure. This room I so quickly left. That was at 30 minutes.
I'm not sure, but yeah, I guess we'll take at the end. I want us to pass a couple of myths around investing. Let us know what you think. We'll probably do another one later. I'll take your comments to see what we should cover that you would love for us to cover. But thank you. Thank you, Nozi. No, you have to dish off.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. And see you in the next episode.